I was just a waitress. That's what people saw when I brought their food, cleaned their spills, and smiled through their complaints. My name is Amara. I worked at an upscale restaurant in the city called Silver Oak. It looked glamorous, shiny floors, glass chandeliers, and expensive wine bottles stacked on polished shelves. But behind that shine, it was hard work. Every evening I put on my black uniform, tied my curly hair back, and reminded myself, keep your head down. Don't take things personally. Just get through the shift. But that night, something different happened. Something that would change everything. She walked in like she owned the place, tall heels, a red dress, and a look on her face like everything around her smelled bad. Her name was Vivian. I didn't know her, but I'd met many like her before. She snapped her fingers without looking at me. You there. Table. Now. Not near children. Not near noise. And please make sure your hands are clean. I smiled, even though my chest tightened. Right this way, ma'am. Every word from her was sharp, every glance cold. She rolled her eyes at the menu, laughed at the price of soup, mocked the way I pronounced risotto. Is this how low standards have fallen? She said loudly. They're hiring girls from the streets now. I stood still. I wanted to say something, to defend myself. But instead, I picked up her napkin from the floor when she threw it and walked away. Across the room, a man had been watching everything. Tall, calm, sharp suit. He didn't move at first, just observed. But after Vivian's last insult, he stood. He walked over and looked at her with quiet authority. Excuse me, he said. May I speak with you for a moment? She scoffed. Who are you? The manager. Not quite. He led her away. A few minutes passed. Then she came back, red in the face, picked up her purse, and rushed out without another word. Whispers began. Then the man returned, but this time he didn't walk away. He walked toward me. Everyone went silent. The man picked up the napkin I had folded, placed it back on the table, and turned to the staff and customers. This young woman, he said, just handled something most people couldn't. I froze. Then he turned to me, eyes soft, but full of something deeper. This is Amara Khan, and she's my daughter. I blinked. What? His name was Elijah Khan, co-founder and owner of Silver Oak. Everyone was shocked, but I was frozen. I hadn't seen him since I was a child. After my mother left the city, we lived far away. She told me little about him, said he was gone, that we had to move on. And now, here he was standing in front of me like a storm from the past. After the restaurant closed, he sat with me quietly. I didn't leave you, he said. I didn't even know where you were. Why didn't you find us? I asked. I tried. For years. He pulled out an old photo of me as a baby, worn at the edges. I carried this everywhere. And that's when I started to cry. In the days that followed, everyone treated me differently. But I stayed the same. I still worked the floor. I still took orders. I still smiled when tired. One evening, Elijah came and said, You don't have to do this anymore. You can stop waiting tables. No, I said. I want to keep working. I want to earn everything. Not because I'm your daughter, but because I'm capable. He smiled. A proud, quiet smile. Then do it. The door is open. Build something. 1 week later, Vivian came back. No red dress, no heels. Just shame on her face. She waited at the entrance. I'm sorry, she said softly. I didn't know who you were. I looked her in the eyes. It doesn't matter who I am. She was confused. What matters, I continued, is that you judge someone because of their uniform. You looked down on me because you thought I had no power. That says more about you than me. She said nothing and walked away. Months passed. I wasn't just a waitress anymore. I helped manage the place. I brought in new staff, young women like me, who needed a second chance. I started a scholarship program. I added affordable lunch days for single moms. I wore my name badge with pride. Amara Khan. One night, my father handed me a silver key. What's this? Your future. You've earned it. I used to think being a waitress was something small. But that night when I was insulted, when I stayed calm, when I stood tall, I realized something. Your worth isn't measured by your uniform, your title, or your past. It's in how you rise when someone tries to push you down. I was once just a waitress. Now, I own the room they once told me I didn't belong in.